Hello everyone, and welcome to my playthrough of Joe and Mac, the Caveman Ninja platformer. This game, as you can see, was made in 1991 by Data East, originally released as an arcade game, and it was eventually ported to other platforms, including the Super Nintendo, which is the version I'm playing right now, the NES, the Game Boy, there was a Genesis version, a PC version, possibly others, I don't know. Here's a little introduction to the game. There's really not much to it. Gives you it's got some pretty groovy music, I'll give it that. But yeah, back in the distant past, way back, like when rock and roll was just rock and fast food was dinner you couldn't catch, lived two cave dudes named Joe and Mac. Whether it was dinosaur demolition derbies, Tyrannosaurus Rex, or pterodactyl hang gliding, peek in the beak, life for the boys was pretty cool. Cool, that is, until a bogus bunch of Neanderthal nerds crashed their village and scared off all the cave babes. Neanderthals still hadn't discovered toothpaste. Phew. Now all the cave babes are out there somewhere, lost and lonely. It's up to Joe and Mac to get them back. So yeah, that's all it is. Basically, these two caveman bros are on a quest for Poon, and they have to slay dinosaurs along the way. There you see the characters, Joe and Mac, and they're pretty much identical, except one has blue hair, one has green hair. Anyway, this is a game that I have had for Super Nintendo for literally as long as I can remember. It's one of those, so it's always been near and dear to my heart. That's why I chose to do a playthrough of it for you guys. The basic premise of the game, it's pretty much a platformer with a little beat 'em up kind of mixed in. So you have the basic attack is your club here, but then as you can see, I just got that boomerang weapon, and so now my club launches boomerangs. And there's 4 different weapons you can acquire. There's another one, bones. Each one has slightly different properties. There's a boomerang, bones, fire, and a wheel. The wheel is like made of stone. It's probably the best weapon in the game. But you know, you're not likely to acquire it until later in the game. These are the generic enemies you see right here, the little cavemen. They come at you with clubs and they jump and stuff, and as you get later into the game, they get much more ingenious, and they'll come at you with helicopters and bombs and all sorts of stuff. That overworld that you saw before I started this level is actually something that I think is unique to the Super Nintendo version of the game. In the arcade version and all the other versions, you just went straight from one level to the next, and there was no choosing where you go. Another thing about the Super Nintendo version is it has these bonus stages, which you're just about to see. That egg that I cracked open, it's a hidden bonus stage, and if you noticed, I waited. I didn't crack open that egg until I defeated all the enemies on the screen. There's a 1-up. If I were to crack that egg open while there were still enemies left on the screen, then it would just give me some item. Like, it would give me either health or a weapon or something like that. Not every stage has a bonus, I don't think, but that's how you acquire, or that's how you find the bonuses. There's like one special egg that I don't think there's anything like special about it. I think you can identify it by looking at it. Maybe you can, but I just kind of figured it out over the years through trial and error, because like I said, I've had this game since before I could walk, so it's just kind of something that's committed to memory now. This is a big sleeping dinosaur, which for those English majors out there, this is called foreshadowing, and you can probably guess why, because I'm almost at the end of the level. Every level has a boss, and every boss is a dinosaur. Go figure. So here we go. I've made this thing very angry. You can also switch your weapons. I'm going to go back to bones because the fire does more damage, but I just prefer to be able to... You can only shoot one fireball at a time is the thing. And so I'd rather have the bones, just because. This boss is pretty easy. He doesn't do much. As long as you stay up here and just keep shooting at him, there's no way you can lose. He does, I mean, he comes at you and he shoots cavemen at you, but it's not much of a challenge. At the end of every level, you save one of the cave babes. She gives you a kiss, you get all goofy faced, and then you move on. These white spaces here are continue points. That's where you start. You can see that down there at the bottom now. My inventory, I've got bones, boomerangs, fire, and I have that key from the secret stage. And if you see these little green heads, or whatever you want to call them on the map there, those are, you need a key to unlock each one of those. The red circles here are levels, like the one I just played, and then the blue circles are, basically they're bonus stages. They have items or one-ups or just whatever, something beneficial for you. But I'm pretty sure, unless there's just a lot about the game that I don't know, there are more bonus stages on the map than there are keys. So I don't think it's possible to hit everyone. You gotta pick and choose. Okay, I was extremely lucky to get the wheel here. Let me show you what makes the wheel so great. Well, that fish got in the way. But see, it rolls after you throw it, and it will roll up walls, it will roll down walls, and it does a lot of damage. Basically, the wheel is just the bee's knees in this game, because you can just throw them all day and kill stuff without even having to try to aim, really. Whoa! So yeah, you can roll, as you've seen me do a couple times, by double tapping the forward button. You can also, I believe if you hold in, yeah, by holding in the shoulder buttons you can dash. Oops. One good thing I'll say about this game is that each level has unique music. I'm pretty sure anyway. And they're all pretty catchy tunes. I really enjoy the music in this game. Now this boss, I'm gonna get hit here, but no, I didn't. This is both the safest place to stand to fight this boss, and it is also the most efficient place as far as being able to kill him quickly. Because he never does anything to hit you back here. The only way you can get yourself hurt here is if you jump too high, then his little whip will hit you. But otherwise, that's all there is to him. I kind of favor the redheads here, I'll be honest. It's just who I am. Okay, moving on. I'm going to skip that bonus and save it for a later one. Alright, now this level is really annoying because it has bees, and you will see what I'm talking about. These things are a pain, and if you hit their hive, it falls on you, like that. But yeah, it's almost impossible to do this level without getting hit. I mean, you could if you decided to take your time and just be super careful, but it's just not worth it to me. This is a very unique, I mean, it's very odd that I have all of the weapons at this point in the game already. That is extremely unusual. This pterodactyl boss is pretty easy. You just gotta keep on hitting him and dodge his little gas. And he will eventually fly low to the ground across the screen really quickly, like that. He only has a few moves, and I'm pretty sure his pattern is random. There is no predicting what's next. But, I mean, it's just a matter of, once you familiarize yourself with everything, oops, it's just a matter of reading them. Every move is easy to dodge. Of course I say that, but, you know, I've been playing this game for, what, 2 decades now, so. The points are pretty useless, but, you know, that's kind of like any arcade game that gets ported to a console that doesn't keep high scores. The points are just kind of there. This is the annoying level with the jumping fish. And, well, okay, now you get to see what happens when you fall in a hole like an idiot. You become a ghost, angel, whatever you want to call it, and it's actually a really nice way to recover because it gives you a few seconds of invulnerability and flying, and you can kind of place yourself wherever you want. But I like that. Like, when you die, the game doesn't stop, you know? It gives you like a few seconds to like straighten yourself out, and then it just keeps on going. Which is pretty unique, I feel like, compared to a lot of other games. Oh, those fish, man. Ah! I need some meat. What am I doing? I need to be using wheels. Because like I said, they are the bee's knees. See, look at that. I killed that guy with a wheel that I threw before he was even on the screen. I think this might be a bonus. Yep. You know, there might be one of those in every stage. Actually, I know there's not, because in that tree stage, I don't think there are any eggs at all. Okay, here, there's another one up, which I definitely want. Oh, and another. I used to think there was a time limit in these. I think I was wrong about that. I think it just lets you go until you get the key. So yeah, for some reason, the pink pterodactyls decide that they're going to be on Joe and Mac's team, whereas all of the other pterodactyls in the world are out to kill you. I'm not sure why that is. I think the cavemen have little cars here. Yeah. Oh, I destroyed it before it got on screen. I'll try not to do that again. Oh yeah, and just so you all know, the Super Nintendo has, there it is, has a different final boss than the other versions of the game. It is completely unexpected and just ridiculous. I'm not going to spoil it for you all, but once you see the final boss, you'll just be baffled. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It comes from just nowhere. This boss fight, the wheels make this fight awesome because they kill these things in one hit each, whereas the bones and boomerangs do not. And the fire does too, I think, but like I said, you can only shoot one fire at a time, and it's really slow, and if you miss, like, it's just inconvenient. You have to be very precise with it for it to be worthwhile. Yeah, that fight goes way faster with wheels than anything else. These guys are such studs though, seriously. Every cave babe in the world wants some of that action. Alright, this level, you're falling or floating down a waterfall with a pterodactyl. Okay, so I guess the light orange, or whatever color you want to call those, they're actually kind of like pink, but not the same pink as the bonus ones. I guess they're on your side too. I forgot about this guy. Oh crap. It's terrible. Oh. So yeah, very short level here. And this boss is interesting. Terrified me as a child. I seriously had nightmares about this boss. I'm not even kidding. He's gonna spit fire at me. Yeah. And I sucked at dodging it. Ah. See, the fire is kind of slow, and when it hits the ground, it like flames up like that. So if you don't hit what you're aiming for, it kind of punishes you. Yeah, I'm gonna switch back to wheels, but there you see how the fire works. The boomerang is kind of neat because, you know, they come back to you, so if you miss, like, you still might hit it. Crap. But, they're just so weak. That's why I don't like the boomerangs. You throw like 3 or 4 of them, and it's about the same damage as a wheel. So, to me, it's just more worth it to use the wheel. I guess one thing I don't understand is, as soon as you defeat these dinosaurs, the cave babes just run out, like, freely. So it kind of makes me wonder, I mean, were they even, like, tied up or anything? Or were they just, like, stuck in a corner because there was a dinosaur nearby and they couldn't get away? I don't know. This level is one of the tougher levels as far as not taking damage, because, I mean, you know, it's an ice level, so obviously there's less friction, which I'm sure anyone who's played any platforming type game with an ice level can understand that. Also, there's just a lot of difficult jumps in this game. In this level, because of the spikes and stuff. I mean, you'll just see. It's one of the tougher levels, especially for how early in the game it is. Most of the tougher levels aren't till the end. This is probably the first level that I would say is of decent difficulty. I mean, there's always the threat of falling in a hole in the earlier levels and stuff, but see, I got a little onto the spikes there. This jump is just stupid. I never get it. I mean, that's a lie. Sometimes I do, but I'm never upset about getting hit there because it's just a silly, silly jump. Alright, now there's a 1-up over here I have to jump on this guy's head for. Oh, I didn't get it. Oh, I got him back. No, don't run away. Nice, got it. Alright. This boss is actually kind of tough, because his moves are just kind of hard to dodge. And he's hard to read, hard to predict what he's going to do. And you can't just hit him on the ground like you saw those wheels didn't do anything to him. You gotta hit his trunk. And he's kind of hard to predict when he's gonna back up or come at you. So it's easy to run into him, because you try to get near him so that you can hit him, but then he'll charge at you. And he's just back and forth the whole time. The trick, obviously, is to jump as high as you can, so that you get the most distance on your weapons. And you're going to see this fight's about to get really gruesome. Some animal rights people might throw a fit over this if they ever saw it. And you'll see why here in a second. Gosh, he's tough. Oh, and he also makes boulders fall from the sky. Yeah, you basically dismember this poor mammoth one appendage at a time. You can guess what's gonna fall off next, can't you? Crap. I am underperforming for you all, and I'm sorry. Yep, there it goes. The trunk is gone. How bad is that? Like, that's just horrible. Look at that poor thing. It's a mammoth without a trunk. Of course, I guess you could also talk about the fact that you're killing it, but actually, now that I think about it, that is the only boss that's not technically a dinosaur. Except for the last boss, which, like I said, you will be totally shocked when you see it. I call shenanigans there. Give me some help. There are a couple bosses in this game, and when I say a couple bosses, I mean a couple pairs of bosses that kind of repeat themselves. This right here is one. It's a pterodactyl. Oh, he's the same color as that one that dropped me down the waterfall level. He flies at you a lot more. Down low, I mean. When he does this, he'll either fly up over you or just fly all the way across. He'll probably fly up this time. No, actually, I remember now. Everything he does, he repeats it in the opposite direction every time. Pretty sure, anyway. His stomach looks weird. He's got all kinds of, like, jelly rolls going on. That was one of the easier fights against that guy. He normally flies back and across all quickly, like. He normally does that more often. Sometimes he'll get on streaks where he just does it for forever. Alright, let's check out this bonus stage up here. See, I used the key. I now have one left, and then I unlock the bonus stage. Oh, so this is one where I just pick an egg. And it's random what's in them every time. Let's go with this one. Oh, I got health. That's pretty lame, but I can't complain. I needed it. Alright, I want to go up. There we go. Try this one. Oh, I gotta kill these things. Oh, this is easy. And that's all there is to that. I just free an extra cave babe and get more points. Oh, and they fill my health up. Sweet. That was worth it. Okay. Onward. And see, that top right red level there, that's the last level. So, you see how the game's pretty short. I think there's... I counted, I used to know. I think there's maybe 9 or 10 levels. Maybe 11. Can't exactly remember. Whoa. Whoa, that was a strange glitch. What is going on there? I've never seen that happen before. Not that I remember, anyway. See, this music's pretty cool, I think. It's pretty groovy. There's a giant volcano erupting, just perpetually erupting in the background. Joe better be careful, he's gonna suffocate from volcanic ash, or whatever that, like, disease or whatever is that you get from inhaling it. What is that called? Ah! I'm trying to kill these guys because this is a bonus egg right here. Ta-da! Oh, there's another volcano. I guess there's just... that background probably repeats. There's just a string of erupting volcanoes. Offers me a wheel, which I don't really need because I already have one. Ta-da! There are some games, I mean, some parts of this game that I'm not trying to brag, but I might make them look easier than they actually are, just because I've, you know, old games like this, back in the day, they were so much about, like, muscle memory for a lot of things, and timing your jumps in this game and knowing when to super jump like that and when to just jump normally and stuff, it can actually be pretty tough, and a lot of the gaps, like, it's really easy to overshoot the gap, or whatever, like in that water level with the moving screen, where the guys had the cars, and you have to jump on those like upward spouts of water. Those are really, really easy to miss, like really easy to miss. And normally I actually will have died probably more than once by this point, but this actually hasn't been too bad of a run. This guy, I don't understand the physics. Don't ask me. He's made of balls. It's completely illogical. But, like all other dinosaurs that you've ever learned about, he spits rocks out of his mouth. You remember learning that in school, right? Dinosaurs would swallow boulders and then spit them out of their mouths at the cavemen that coexisted with them at the same time. And as they got closer to death, their skin turned darker and they got angrier. Yeah, we definitely learned all that in school. Ah! I'm gonna need these lives for the last level though, because it is tough. Oh, you son of a bitch. Stop spitting things out. Trying to play it safe here, not blow this life, but... come on, 2 more. No! Oh, I thought I was a goner there. Uno mas. Got him. Nice. And out comes the cave babe, who's just been watching this whole time. Just waiting to jump my bones once I saved her. Great, you've done it. Alright, moving right along. And that's one thing, you know, compared to a lot of games where your health refills from one stage to the next, it doesn't in this one, so that adds a little challenge. Ah, crap. The little guys got me. Oh no! I need to plug my computer in. Just a minute. Okay. Well, I guess that just seemed like 1 second past to you guys, but I had to go grab my laptop charger and get that hooked up. And if the sound ends up being slightly out of sync now, it's because I had to cut this. And so you will know why. Oh yeah, those 2 fires there just reminded me of something. The game does have co-op, as you might have seen at the beginning. I could choose 1 or 2 players. There are 2 different modes for multiplayer. Yeah, Caveman had helicopters and bombs in this day and age too, by the way. There's the 2-player game and then 2-player super game, I think is what it's called. Basically there's 2 differences. In the normal 2-player game, you cannot harm each other, but in the 2-player super game, you can harm each other with your attacks. However, you also have the added ability to jump on each other's heads in order to reach higher places or do crazy combo attacks or whatever you feel like taking advantage of that for. So yeah, those are the 2 differences. Multiplayer is pretty fun, and when you do the co-op, whenever you're fighting bosses like this, every time you get a hit on the boss, see, like you see my name, Joe, up there in the top left. If someone else was playing as Mac, he would be on the right. And the game keeps track of who gets more hits in on the boss. It keeps a running tally as the fight goes on. It's kind of like a contest. And at the end of the boss fight, whoever got more hits gets the kiss from the cave babe once she comes out. And the other guy kind of goes over and stands in the corner and acts all embarrassed and ashamed. It's kind of funny. It's just like a friendly little competition. This guy's pretty ridiculous. He has such an extensive pattern, and he never does anything to try to hurt you except bounce around in spiky ball form, and that's it. So yeah, there's not really much to this guy. Whenever he goes up in the air, he always comes down right in the middle here. So there's literally no excuse to ever lose to this guy, because he just doesn't do anything at all. Cave babes with blue hair. Does life get any better? Alright. This is the dinosaur graveyard, as you can see. Oh. Once again, foreshadowing the boss. Oh yeah, there's also lightning starting in this level. It'll show up in the next level too. Wow, that was stupid. I got hit twice by that boulder. I'm trying to crack this thing open. It might be a bonus. Oh. Scumbag lightning. Ah. Thought that might be a special one. I used to know all the secrets, but I haven't played this game in several years. Now this place right here, this is one area I was talking about where it is really easy to lose several lives in short order. I mean, I've seen people, and I've done it myself, but more often my friends, like, they'll fall in a hole like that, and then they miss time, like, oh I needed that rock to get up there, but my wheel destroyed it. But it's kind of easy to miss time when your angel form or whatever will become solid again, and so I've seen people just lose multiple lives in a row without ever touching the ground. Yeah, and remember what I said about foreshadowing? The boss is a skeleton of a dinosaur. And I learned this trick a long time ago as a child. If you go over there and stand in the corner and crouch, the bones will never hit you. If you stand up, they will, as you saw on the first time. Don't ask me why, but it's just one of those little tricks I learned a long time ago, so that's how I've always done it. And then eventually, once he gets to low enough health, the head will come after you on its own once he falls apart. Yeah, right here it comes. And then I come down here to avoid it when it comes back. And then you just get right back to it. Aw, he got me. Oh, sometimes it does that, which I don't even remember him doing that. But yeah, this guy's pretty easy. I think the next boss, which is the one before the last boss, is the hardest in the game. By far. And you'll see why. Alright, I still have a key, right? And I don't want a continue spot, that's lame, so I'll go up here. Uh-oh. Well, that was easy. Fill up my health again, I guess? Yep. All one heart that I was missing. And somehow, there's an ice stage right there. Now look at the map behind me. Do you see ice anywhere in the vicinity? No, I didn't think so. This is a free bonus stage that they give you. The objective here, I believe, is to catch all of these items before they touch the ground. At least that's what I always set out to do as a young child. I don't know if that's actually the condition or not, but I do know that sometimes like it stops before the end, and if you don't make it to the end, then you don't get that one up. But I think you can miss one or two, or maybe you can miss them by a certain amount of time, but like if you don't collect all that meat and if you get too far behind, it just quits and takes you out of the level. So the objective is to catch all those as quickly as you can, I guess. Now this level it's the hardest level in the game, and the boss is the hardest boss in the game. So they did a good job with that. This is one game where the difficulty definitely peaks at the end. They did not drop the ball in that regard, designing this game. There's a pit. This might be the one, or there might be another later. You gotta make all these little jumps. Oh, see? I missed it. And it's just hard, especially when there's stuff flying like that at you, and there's lightning coming down at totally unpredictable times. And then I really wish the screen would give me more. There we go. And then you gotta jump on these birds, which the spawning of these birds is actually not constant. Like, I mean, from one playthrough to the next. They'll spawn at slightly different times in slightly different locations or patterns, which just adds even more chaos to this already kind of chaotic level. Oh. There was not as much as I thought there was. I thought there was more platform hopping. Now this boss, I will probably lose 2 lives against him. He moves very fast, he's very unpredictable, and there's no safe place to stand. Because he comes all the way forward, he comes all the way backwards, up and down, he shoots things at you. There's no pattern to him. It's just very tough to avoid getting hit here. And if you, there's a run of this game on Speed Demos Archive. I cannot remember the name of the user, or else I would plug his run for him, but I just don't remember. But in the quickest time, the guy, I think this boss right here is the only part in the game where he actually loses a life. And I remember he said in the comments, it's basically just almost impossible to not, at least with any sort of consistency. That's what I mean. Like, yeah, you can dodge him, but I don't think there's any, like, foolproof way to just get the one up on this boss. Oh, crap. Oh, and another thing, whenever you die, or not when you die, but when you take a continue, like when you run out of lives, you lose all your weapons. So that's why sometimes, like even late in the game, you would see, like I think it was in this level, there was just that pit at the beginning that had all 4 weapons, and you're like, well gosh, he got bones right away at the very start of the game. Well, that's because if you use a continue, you lose all of those weapons. Also, in 2-player mode, continues, I believe, it's been a long time since I've played this game with a friend, but I think that the game stops whenever one player has to use a continue. Like, you don't get to finish out your continue. If your friend loses all his lives, then it quits and takes you both to the continue screen. And then once he runs out of continues, I believe, then you can do it, you can continue on your own. I could be wrong about that. But anyway. Yeah, and this is another ball-necked dinosaur, which I just don't understand. But, oh yeah, and you might be thinking, oh, there's no more levels left after this. I saw on the map, and he said the last boss was totally unexpected. Oh, but there is one more level. Just, and here it is. It comes from out of nowhere. There is no logic. There is no explanation. Just don't ask. I have no idea. But you'll see it here. Yeah. What the hell is this? You tell me, because I don't know. Now, the implication, I guess, is that you go inside the dinosaur, which, A, makes no sense whatsoever, and B, makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. And there's all kinds of things in this dinosaur. I mean, I guess if this is what the inside of all these dinosaurs looks like, then I understand why they're constantly spitting out cavemen and boulders and stuff. But this is just creepy and unusual. I mean, the list goes on and on. Inappropriate. And just wait until you see the boss. It's kind of nice how these cavemen are like self-cooking upon death. They instantly turn into cooked meat. Is that the boss? Nope, no it's not. However, this little demon is. But I have to fight these things first. These giant gallstones. Hell, I don't know what they are. They always move backwards when you hit them. Like backwards, whichever way they're facing. I don't mean they move away from you. Whether you hit them from the front or the back, they always bounce back opposite of the direction they are facing. So that's something to keep in mind. Even if you're behind them, they will bounce back at you when you hit them. So you always want to attack them from a safe distance or from the front like this. And then once I fight enough of these things, then the little devil will come back. Alright. I like to use fire against him just because that's what it looks like when you hit him. He makes crazy little noises. He's creepy as hell. He has a pitchfork and a spiky tail. And he's just... Alright, here's one of his favorite attacks. He makes your friend. And he'll like spit fire and do all kinds of other things. Aw, crap. I screwed up there. I'd already committed to a jump too early to be able to dodge him. Crap. This makes rocks fall from the ceiling. Yeah, so, I don't know. I guess the story here is that, like, the dinosaurs were possessed by demons who poked their hearts with pitchforks to control their actions. Like, I just don't understand it. And somehow the Neanderthal nerds were in cahoots with the demon-possessed dinosaurs to steal all the mortal cave babes. I just don't... I have no idea. Fill in the gaps for me, because it is the most unorthodox story ever. Get him. Nice. And he should go down pretty soon. Yeah, there he goes. One demon down. Alright. And now this cave babe, who's been swallowed by the dinosaur, but is perfectly alright somehow. Oh, but wait. It's not over. The devil. Phase 2. 4 red flashing devils combined to make That's right. A blue devil! Makes so much sense. Alright. This guy is much harder to dodge. He has a much larger array of attacks. He's a lot faster. He does that. He will shoot those rings in a bunch of different ways too. He randomly teleports around the stage. He does this little maneuver. You can't hit him when he's flashing like that. The rings just, once the first ring gets back to him, that's when you can hit him again. When he stops flashing and becomes solid. Teleport. Yeah, this is the only fight in the game where I like to use fire. Oh, except for the plant guy in level 2. Because he's pretty easy to hit. Like, your opportunities to hit him are when he's in a predictable place or like doing a predictable move where like based on the move he's doing you know where he's gonna be. Like he randomly teleports but then he sits in place for a long time. So it's pretty easy to have high accuracy on him as long as you choose your shots carefully. And obviously the plant guy is good to use the fire on because he never moves and never attacks you as long as you're behind him. So he has another attack that puts fire on the ground that like is more potent. It like causes fire to rise up or something. Man, I normally hardly ever get hit by that attack, but I'm just being careless here. The music's pretty intense though, I'll give him that. Notice his color changing, which means he's getting lower on health. A lot of times that teleport move will land right on top of you, and there's just nothing you can do about it. Crap, I didn't mean to super jump there. Alright, he's getting really close now. Oh, he changed up the direction. Ah, missed. Oh, see, there you go. And that will do it. That's the end of the game. It's pretty fun. That was on normal mode, as you saw. Or maybe I didn't go into options this time, I don't remember. There's easy, normal, and hard. And here's a little ending sequence. Joe and Mac with all the cave babes. Planner. That sounds like an important job, huh? So yeah, it's a very fun little game. It's creative. It's a caveman game, which I think is pretty cool. There's not a very wide variety of enemies, but they were clever with it, I think. It's fun. I don't know how much of the reason I like it is due to nostalgia for the fact that I've owned this game since about 1994. But oh, and there's the chunky, over-eager cave babe who you never actually rescue, but chases you away at the end. So yeah, that was Joe and Mac. Thanks for watching me, and maybe you'll check the game out for yourself if you liked what you saw here. It's short and sweet, but trust me, if it's your first time playing, you will probably die a lot. So anyway, I'm going to sign out here, guys. Once again, thanks for watching, and tune in next time for my next LP.